Welcome back to the Derek Rise channel. I just felt like tonight was a good night. I'm sipping a little bit, and that's not the reason why. I made plenty of videos not sipping, by the way, but I just felt like there's shit I need to talk about. I haven't been like as productive as I want to be lately, and I think there's reasons for it. So we'll break it down. Maybe this helps me too. Maybe like taking this pressure off will help me get back into the creative form. But, and not that this pressure is shit that I make up on my own. You know, it doesn't exist actually. It's just I make it exist. Um, I guess the pressure is like I really want to do like music for a full-time living, but in order to do that, you have to stay consistent with not only music, which is like I would say like the hard part, but the content side as well. And I don't know if I like really like to be in front of camera all the time. Like I don't know, it's just something that like I'm like, oh, it's dreadful. You know, I don't really like to do it. And that's just the side of me that I hate because I wish that I was like that, where I was just really chasing it and getting down a video every day is what I'd like to do because I know if you do that kind of stuff, it probably helps so much more in growing. And you know, we've had growth and we fell down and we have had growth and we fell down. And that's like the name of the game. It's like a stock. You know, I always say that. Like a stock will go up when people believe in it and it goes down when like they're taking their money out, you know what I mean? Like they don't believe in it as much. Not saying that like the fans that love me or like me or whatever listen to me don't believe in me. It's just that we just don't have enough to like really do like what I'm trying to do. And it's not like here's the thing. Art is separate from the fans. I know. I am just like I want to like grow to the point where I do this for a living and to do that you have to do retarded shit and sorry for the language, but like it's not me really. And it is me because sometimes I do get a fucking hair up my ass and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to make a video," and I feel great about it. And I do it and I'm happy I did it, you know? And I love that shit, but like it's not like every day that there's like an idea or anything like that. And I guess I don't know. We're just going to ramble. There's nothing planned here. I do have some shit to keep me on track, but that's literally because I'm sipping and I don't want to lose. I want you guys to be entertained. So, in order to do that, I have to have bullet points because I might just literally brain fart. That's just me, you know? So, I guess let's just start. We're already started, by the way. I'm just rambling. So, let's see. Navigating self doubt and staying motivated as a creative. That's like, first of all, if you're a creative at anything you do, you have self doubt. And staying motivated as a creative, I don't know. I really don't know where that comes from, but it goes in waves. And right now, I'm in the low part of the wave. So, like, I feel like the wave will probably go up at some point, and I hope it does because there's nothing more that I like than being like at my high of creativity and I'm putting out content left and right. You know, like this past year, I put out about 60, 70 songs roughly, somewhere around there. And if you average it out, I'm pretty sure it's like 1.2 songs a week, which like my goal was probably a song a week. and I escalated that. Is that the word? I don't know. Yeah, no. Okay, but anyway, I surpassed my goal of a song a week, and it felt so fucking good. I was like, I don't know where this is coming from. These songs are just hitting me. These beats just feel right. And then like where I'm at right now is like sometimes I try to avoid like just listening to beats or any part of the creative process. I'm just like avoiding it, and I fell into this before. It doesn't mean that I don't love making music. It's just that like when you overdo something, it always becomes like a job. And when it becomes a job, nobody hates job. Nobody likes jobs. Okay? Nobody likes jobs. Everybody hates their job. And if you say you love your job, you're probably fucking lying. But maybe you do, and that's good if you do. I hope you do. But when it starts to feel like a job, I really fucking hate it. But I know that that's what it takes to make this my job, because it's really fucking hypocritical for me to say, "Oh, it feels like a job. I don't want to do it," but I also want to do this as a full time living. I don't know. I've thought about that, and I'm like, how do I feel this way? You know, I really don't know where that comes from. Um, but yeah, it does. It kind of like just drains your energy. And maybe that's because I have a full-time job on top of making music. And I think that's probably what it is. Because if I woke up in the morning, have my coffee, and hit the fucking studio and use that energy for that, I feel like we're better off. Um, because when I like show up to my regular job, I have my coffee and I'm kind of cruising along, and actually ideas are hitting the brain, like I'm feeling kind of motivated, but by the time I get off of my job and I get home, it's like fuck, man. I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to make music. It takes too much effort. So then like maybe I hop on the game or something, and I love gaming. Um and sometimes gaming can be like something you really try hard at, but I guess it's just something that like um just eases the mind a little bit more, I guess. Like it's straight dopamine to the head, you know? And music is, but I would say like when you're when you're in the beginning of the creative process to like let's just say a song. If you're in the beginning of that, you don't know where you're going, you don't have a plan, nothing, and I love that process. Oh shit. I love that process, but when you hit like writer's block, it's not as fun. you know? And that's what I've been feeling. And I think I'm putting this weird pressure on myself where I feel like I'm just gonna be straight out honest. I try to be as lyrical as I can. I try to bring something to the table, and um sometimes I feel just not that lyrical, and it's just like what's going on? And then sometimes it comes super fucking easy, and that's writer's block. That's literally writer's block. And I've been a big advocate about writing through writer's block. So I'm kind of a hypocrite because I haven't necessarily been practicing what I'm preaching in a way. Like I've always been a really good person at like writing through that shit. But lately, I just like put it off to the side. It's so easy to be like, yeah, I'll get to it later, get to it later. But then all of a sudden, months have passed and you haven't really did anything. And I have made songs and stuff like that in the last couple months, but it's not to where I want it to be. I want it to be more productive. I want more songs, but you can't rush that. And I understand that too. You can't rush that, but there's nothing worse for an artist that feeling like you can't do what you're supposed to do. You're an artist. You're supposed to create shit. And yeah, I've been going through a hard time with like finding the creativity. Distractions are a big thing. I think distractions have overcome my life a little bit and taken me away from my mic. And that's not a good thing, you know? I want to get back. So maybe this little conversation helps me get back to that point. Um but yeah. Um as an artist, when you drop shit, you you put yourself out there. Video form, music form, doesn't matter. I think first of all, if you're an artist, you're brave for putting yourself out there. And usually when you're creating art, especially if it's real and it hits home, it's sorry about that. I guess when you put out music and it hits home, you're really giving you're donating a piece of yourself to the public, which can hurt because maybe people like it, but like when people like it, it's not as loud as like the hate. And the hate does get to you, even though that's another thing I'm hypocritical about, is like don't let the hate affect you. Um but I would be lying if I said that it didn't like interfere with my thoughts even a little bit. It's like, yeah, don't read the comments. Don't don't do that kind of stuff, but it's not even, I don't know. You can avoid it, but you know it's there and it's like, damn. Like the hate comments just overweigh any compliment, and I hate the fact of that because I've received many compliments, but I feel like they're watered down by the hate that I receive sometimes, and it's not even that much, but that's what I'm saying is like it can be one comment. It could be anything like that. Sometimes it just fucking hits you. You work hard at this thing, you're trying to do something with it. You're trying to put truth out there, you're trying to put your life out there, and when you put a piece of your life out there and somebody hates it, it fucking sucks. And it doesn't affect me like as much as maybe I'm complaining right now. It's just this is like what I'm trying to get out. Like I just need to talk and get it out. We'll use this as like a therapy session, I guess. But I don't know if I'm making sense. Hopefully I am. All right, the next little like bullet point is the importance of discipline versus waiting for inspiration. The importance of discipline. This is like the worst fucking bullet point, by the way, with what I'm feeling right now. Because the importance of discipline is so important that it's destructive if you don't follow along with the discipline. Like it really can deteriorate anything that you had going. And that's been me multiple times. I built my shit to the highest it's ever been, and I've never been able to reach that again. And that just fucking sucks. It doesn't matter if I come out with like a better song than the last one or the greatest song that I've ever made. It really doesn't fucking matter because you're still gonna be at the same spot that you were. And it's very easy to just like be in this one spot. And maybe that's me looking at the numbers and stuff. But that's another thing I'm hypocritical about, and I'm just like again, I'm just laying it out right now, is oh, don't focus on the numbers. That's what I always say. Don't like I don't know. Fuck it. Just don't focus on the numbers. Don't focus on the comments, especially the bad ones. Even the good ones. Don't take too much out of that because You don't want your ego inflated to the point where you think you're the best. You don't want to feel like you're the worst either. You have to have a middle ground because confidence is super important, especially when you're trying to make good songs. Confidence is huge. And without that, you're probably not going to do as well. So, and that's what it is. And at the same time, if you're feeling like you're the best, you're going to slack on what got you there. Like, and that's happened to me many times is I've slacked on the steps that, climb these fucking stairs to get to where I am skill wise. And that just, it sucks. And it's not like it's not there anymore. I know I can, tomorrow, what I might just drop the best song I ever made. I know that's right there too. But there's no drive to get me to do that right now because I don't care enough, I guess, about my goal, which is to do this for a living. And I really want to care about it because I want to do that. That would be fucking amazing. But do I care enough? And that's like the thing I ask myself, you know? Do I want to work 9 to 5? Not really. It's not that fucking sucks too. That like depresses me every day that I'm there. So music would be the way. Or any form of content. I love making content and just being out here and just talking. But I need to offer something, and I think I offer music, and music has helped me through a lot of shit. So I feel like it might help other people through a lot of shit. And I don't know where I'm trying to go with that, but let's move on. Hmm. Building confidence and identity outside of your art. I think that's actually kind of a good one too. Because what happens is when you do something, sometimes you do build your identity around that thing you're doing, depending on how good you get or how bad you are. It doesn't matter. Like you kind of define yourself by that, and that's not really it's not really the case, and that's also really bad for confidence and and like striving to hit goals because when you define yourself by your art, if your art's really good and you're defining like, oh, I'm this, then that's where it's a slippery slope because you kind of want that, but at the same time, if you go way too far where you think you're like the greatest of all time, it's like obviously again, I'm going in circles here, but you're not going to try as hard, and if you don't try as hard, shit's just gonna slack. And I kind of feel like I'm kind of there, but like it's not that I think my art's the greatest thing ever. It's more of like I feel like I'm trying to top myself. I feel like I've did a really good job throughout all my music, even in the SoundCloud days back in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, blah blah. I felt like I did a really good job about getting better every day. And I don't know where that's gone because I just don't feel like that now. And I feel like I'm getting better. It's good, but it's not like at the pace that it was. And maybe you do hit like a certain point and you start to like maybe this is my ceiling. That's what I've been asking myself. And I don't think that's really true. I think I can get over this because I've kind of felt like this before in my past. It's just now is a little bit different because I took a 5 year break and I took a 5 year break, came back, did that whole year of 60, 70 songs. And then I just was like, all right, I got it. It's very easy for me, all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. I think it was after the Blurs album. I dropped an album and I sat on that for a while, just loved it. I did love that album. I really think that was like um good work. I think it wasn't perfect. I think it could have been better, but I was like just happy. I dropped a 20 song album and it made sense and it was good and like it was deeper on this deeper level. And there's this bar that's set, but I know that's not true because I've dropped music after that that I think is the same caliber, if not better, you know. Um Learning to enjoy the process, not just results. That's one thing that I've struggled with is I love the process, by the way. I have like the most passion when it comes to making music. The best music I can make. But there is that little side of me where I let the numbers affect it, you know. And if it doesn't get results, then I start putting the definition of whatever that result was into this thing that I'm doing. And that's literally like what the whole conversation's been about this whole time. I don't know how to fix it. Uh, I know I haven't lost it because I just made something today, actually. So it feels good to just get something, you know? Um, a good example is like Guidance. That's one of my songs on my last project called Abstractopia. And that was like one of the starting songs that like I felt this exact same way that I feel right now, but then I knocked out that song. So I know that it's very doable. I'm not that good at navigating through this fucking storm of writer's block, you know? Let's see. Let's try to get something else. This one is more like philosophy and like perspective, I would say. So we can go into that a little bit. Let me read some bullet points here. Okay. I think these ones are good. Lessons life has taught me so far. I think lessons have taught me a lot of things. I That's like a crazy question because like how do you answer that? It's taught me life is about teaching. Okay? Every day is a lesson and you get better every day or you get worse every day depending on if you passed or failed that day, but it depends on your thoughts. It starts on your mind. It really does. So, but either way, good or bad, it does teach you no matter what, you know? Um and the lessons that it's taught me is first of all, I think you can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter. Another thing is I was very self-conscious growing up and shit like that, and I feel like I haven't felt more free than I do now. Like I haven't felt this free because I felt like I was always in a box back then, where like if you do this you're weird or blah blah, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to be cool. It doesn't fucking matter. And it turns out actually that if you really follow what you want to do and you be yourself, if you be yourself, that's like the main thing. If you be yourself, like you don't have to try hard for exception. Exception just comes to you because it's so much easier. Think about it. Like when you see somebody, isn't it easier to accept somebody when they're their self? Like when I see somebody that's like I could tell they're just not really being like their full self, and like they just seem like, come on, you know, like it's harder to accept that person. But when they're their self, it's very easy to accept them, even if they don't agree with the same things you agree with, you know. I don't know. The reality of chasing dreams versus what people think it is. I think people think chasing dreams is this like weird thing that like if you do this you're weird. Um which kind of like the definition of weird, I guess like it's a lower percentage that actually follow with what they really fucking want to do and put themselves out there. I guess it's weird in that way. But what the reality of chasing dreams is just like anything you want to do. It doesn't matter if I mean, you could be a fucking art teacher, you know? And if that's your dream, you do the steps to get there and boom, you got there and you can make a difference in that way. I really think a lot of these like positions of power, cuz it is kind of a position of power. You can change the world in your little way. And if enough people do that, you do change the world. So, very important, you know? Very important. The reality of chasing dreams, though, is nobody's going to understand what you're doing. Nobody's going to really truly believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. And that's where, like, this disconnect happens from maybe the people, like, maybe because I've did this many times where you're looking for like outer whatever, you're looking for outer shit, you know? Like just whatever. Like I guess you want to be accepted. I guess that's like what I'm trying to say, but you're looking for this outer thing and yeah, I don't know. What was I saying? I actually forgot it. I told you this is going to happen, by the way. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's move on. This is awkward. How to stay authentic in a world of trends. I think to stay authentic in a world of trends is just be yourself. Like try to create something new, fresh, blah blah blah. Don't just follow. It's so much easier to follow this trend and like like if it's a TikTok trend and it's so much easier to get likes and comments. If I was really about likes and comments and people watching, trust me, I could fucking do it. I'm not kidding. I just don't follow trends. And maybe if there's a trend that I really fucking like, because a trend doesn't mean that it's inauthentic. It could be authentic to you, but a lot of trends just aren't. You know, for me anyway. They're just not authentic. So that's why I kind of stay away from them. I try to do my own shit. If there's a trend that comes along that I really think is cool, funny, anything like that, I'll probably follow along with it because I fuck with it. The role of pain and struggle in growth. The role of pain and struggle in growth is um I want to describe it as like I don't know. I want to describe it as like some kind of like you need some kind of friction to feel like out of place. And if you feel out of place, you kind of like moved into a different zone. Which, if you move into a zone, which is like not the comfort zone, it's in a different zone. I think you grow from that because you've expanded your fucking horizon, I guess, or whatever you would say. Like you expanded something, which makes you grow because expand means to grow. So, like, going through anything, trials, tribulations, all that kind of stuff is definitely out of your comfort zone. Whether it's fucking addiction, trauma, anything like that, like, it's not comfortable. But it does, like, it does grow you. You know, you do expand and understand this shit. Because a lot of things are about familiarity. And if you've been through, like, say you're going to your school or your job every day, you're doing that every day and it's familiar. You're not getting much growth out of doing just that alone, but the things that you run into maybe certain days might grow you a little bit, test your patience, all that kind of stuff. But the core of like, oh, waking up, drinking my coffee, going to work or whatever is like such a comfort zone. You get home and you follow the same routine. When you do that, you're not really experiencing too much other than, yeah, life is unexpected. Like, you got to expect the unexpected. So, like, every day can, like, grow you a little bit. Just living. That's why a 50-year-old has so much more growth than a 20-year-old. It's just even if they live this plain boring life, same routine every day, they still grew quite a bit because of the daily randomness, I guess. It's just random. But I don't know. Let's move on. Hopefully I'm making sense to you guys. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. I have been drinking again. I'm gonna just state that because one second. I just turned music on in my headset. All right. Let's talk some music a little bit, huh? How music connects to everyday life. Um I really don't know how music connects to everyday life. I think it does. Like, I don't know, cuz I'm going to be honest, I haven't listened to music that much in my everyday life. So like music can be just like totally out of your life. But I will say life is definitely better when it is in your life, whether you're driving to work and you got music playing, you're bumping, you're going to a party, blah blah blah. You're going to an event which you're trying to get pumped up for, build confidence. I think music's really good for that. I think music's good to help you through sad times because maybe maybe you're feeling sad and your favorite artist has a sad song. You might listen to that and you just feel more comforted because it's like you might not know it, but like the psychology of it is your subconscious is loving that. Well, maybe it's your conscious. I guess I don't know. I think it's more of your subconscious because you're not like totally aware why you're loving these songs. Maybe you are. I don't know. I guess. But you're when you're sad, you're gonna listen to sad music, and I think it comforts you because you know that, like, this person that you might look up to, maybe you don't, maybe you just love the fucking song, but they're going through it too. I think just having another person going through something that really hits home, um, helps a lot because it makes you feel like you're not alone, and, that's probably what it is. Let's see, what else? We're gonna end it soon because I'm not at my best right now, even on this video. I'm still gonna post this anyway because I have no fucks to give, really, you know? And I felt like you guys need to understand where I'm coming from and why I'm not dropping as much as I did. And I don't know if I'll ever get to that pace again. By the way, even a song a week is ridiculous, you know? I can't believe that I did that. I could not imagine doing that another year, you know? And I could, but like things need to line up for me to feel like that. And I try. And I'm talking about drop songs. I'm not talking about songs that I'm just not going to drop either. I'm talking about stuff that I've created and I'm ready to give to the public. That's what I'm talking about. I have created, you know, in this little slump, but I guess there's like public perception type thing. I want it to be like that. I don't know. I've always topped shit. Like I said, I've always topped what I did the last time, and I want to do that again. But it is what it is. Conversations with people who inspire you outside of music. I think I have a lot of these conversations. I get inspired by a lot of things. So I think every day, whoever you interact with can inspire you. Um, I think they bring new ideas because I think if your perception clashes with somebody else's perception, it always makes you think maybe a little bit different. At least for me, I always try to jump into somebody's mind and, like, you know, why do they think the way they think? You know, like I try to enter that spot and try to understand it from their point of view. Even if I don't agree with it, I try to jump into that and I feel like I can really feel where they're coming from that way. Even if I don't like agree with it. It's still a perception. Maybe it's not right, you know? Maybe it is right. But I always try to learn from everybody. Um and some people are just plain old fucking stupid and you're not going to get too much from them. But do they inspire me? Probably not. They don't inspire me. But is there something to learn from them? Yes. Don't be like them. So yeah. All right, let's like wrap this up a little bit. Hmm. Without diving into the music itself, okay. Breaking down a life lesson behind one of your songs. Without diving into the music itself. Uh a life lesson from my songs. I don't know. I just write my wrongs. I write my rights. I write how I feel. I write a lot of things, and I don't know if I can break down a life lesson. I think music's taught me a lot. Same with you know, playing basketball when I was growing up, or maybe playing pickleball. You always like I've always had this mindset that I want to get better at whatever I do. And it teaches you if you're thinking in that mode. If you're not in that mode and you're casually just like, oh, I'm just here to have fun, that you're at least you're having fun. That's a big thing. You're probably not gonna get much better, I guess. But and that's another thing is getting better at something isn't even it's not even what you think. Like you would think like, oh, it feels so good to be good at something, blah blah blah. It will never ever bring you happiness. It's always going to feel the same, and when you get better at something, it's like a slower process. So it's not like you go from here to here and you're like, "Whoa, I'm here now." It's just very gradual, and you're not going to feel much different, you know. And compliments also rise. Like, I think a lot of people do like compliments. I think I love compliments. I think everybody loves a compliment here and there. Like, oh, yeah, hey, nice shirt. You feel a little bit better. I think when you get used to compliments or like, it's just a gradual thing too. As you're getting better, you're going to get complimented more or hated on more. And that's another thing. You get used to the hate as well. It's the compliments and the hate, you become desensitized to them as you're going, you know? So nothing really feels different, even though it is a lot different. It is a lot different, but it feels like no different than when I started. I'm not gonna lie, you know? And hopefully this video was kind of good. I will try to get more of these if you like them. Make sure you leave a like, because if you like that, then I know that you probably liked it. So then I'll make some more and maybe just ramble on and just be in my raw self, you know? So, yeah. All right. You guys take it easy. Love you. Bye.